It's me, Vicky Marie. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in this crazy world we're living in. Oh, and I've been reminded this morning about lots of things are crazy, aren't they? Things that you think are going to be simple. No, never in my life, never simple. Nothing is ever simple. But anyway, I'm going to waffle a little bit about that in a minute. But first of all, I'll just tell you what I'm going to talk about in this video. So actually, I need to upload a photo of this friend, Facebook friend. I mean, what do we think of this? So this is a woman, Danielle Barkley, and she was friendly. Let's find her photo to put up. She was in a true crime Facebook group, probably a bit like our group, our community, but Facebook. And I do have a Vicky Marie Chats Facebook, but I don't go on it much, but I have got one. And this woman, Samantha, not Samantha, gosh, where have I got Samantha from? I'm thinking of Samantha, who am I thinking of? Samantha, I'm not sure. Don't know where Samantha came from there in my head. Oh, probably Samantha Murphy. Yeah, because that's an Australian case as well. But anyway, this woman is called Danielle Barkley. And she gave evidence at Erin's trial. The mushroom murders, just to remind you of the mushroom murders. If you look at the picture up in the top right-hand corner, these were 3 murder victims. And one very lucky man who escaped, or depending on how you look at it, because he lost his wife and 2 of his best friends. Don and Gail and Heather all died, and Ian survived. All served up poisonous mushrooms by the mushroom murderess. And let's put her, well, not only her picture up. I doubt if we've forgotten what she looks like by now. But, of course, she went in the hellhole, didn't she? So, might show it. Yeah, we put her in the hellhole. Good old Erin. Still pleading her innocence. But she fed those unfortunate people a meal and sat there and watched them eat it. Said goodbye to them. Let them pray for her because she was lying, saying she had cancer. We cannot forget what piece of shit this woman is. Remember, this is... She wanted everyone to believe her then. But she'd already admitted to so many lies. How could anyone believe anything she said? Anyway, this woman, Danielle, she was in this Facebook group, True Crime Facebook group. And let's not forget that they nicknamed Erin Super Sleuth, didn't they? Because they thought she was such a good sleuth in this group. She was so well respected in this Facebook group. A super sleuth, but obviously she wasn't that good a sleuth as she thought she was, or as they thought she was, because she made so many mistakes, didn't she? And that's how she got found guilty. So this woman now has come out and she's releasing a book. Let's have a look at that. Where's it gone? Hang on. Why is that not coming up? What? Oh, it's not coming up for me. But anyway, the photo that I've got as the thumbnail for this video, and it's called Bloody Good Friends. And I called it Not Such Bloody Good Friends, because well, she's not much of a friend, is she, if she's going on? And at the end of the day, we have to remember she's only a Facebook friend. They have never met in person. So this woman, Danielle, she testified, didn't she, at the trial to what the messages were. Of course, those messages have disappeared now. We'd all love to read them, wouldn't we? We'd love to see them. Whether she's going to present them in this book or not, I don't know. But yeah, she's writing a book. Now, what do we think of that? I can't decide. Is she just cashing in on the murder of 3 people? But you could say that YouTubers are doing that. You could say I was doing that. But you know, and how much is she actually how's she going to make a book out of everything? Because I've written a book, and believe me, it takes a long time, and it takes ages, and you've got to put a lot in it to make it worth reading. And really all she knows about are the messages, because she doesn't know Erin. How is she going to make a book out of it? That would be my question. Also, I don't like the title, Bloody Good Friends, and then there's blood dripping, because it's lurid. And also, it's not how Erin killed her victims. She didn't kill them. She didn't stab them. You know, she did not stab them. So it gives this false picture that there's some sort of gory, bloody murder involved. And it was a horrible murder. It was almost worse than stabbing someone, because it was so underhand, wasn't it? But she did not stab them. There was no blood. You know, she poisoned them. So I think the title, Bloody Good Friends, and all the blood pouring down is a ridiculous title. That's my opinion. And that's what we're going to talk about. So first of all, though, I'm going to say my thank yous. I have got, as I say, I've got a little bit of waffle. So thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Very special thank you to my members, as always. Thank you to those of you who bought me Ko-fis, sent me super stickers, that all mean the world, sending nice emails, leaving positive comments. Thank you to any way you've contributed positively to my channel. Okay, let's take the banner off, and then I want to say hello to my lovely lurkers. Thank you for being here again. Nice to see you again. Hi to Loathsome Lurkers. Hi to Replay Crew. Thank you so much for watching. And yeah, let's have a look at who's in the chat and say hello to those of you who are brave enough to venture into the chat. Hope you're all good this morning. Hi, David. Hi, Angel. No, it's not the one who turned up to support her, Angel. It's another one. This woman has never met Erin Patterson in person. You'll see that in a minute when we read about it. Hi, Maria. Everyone's saying hi, Maria, but oh, there she is. Hi, Maria. So yeah, I can't decide. I mean, at the end of the day, this is her experience that she's had with Erin Patterson. She's perfectly entitled to write about it if she wants to. Why not? You know, it must have been quite a thing for her as well. Imagine someone that you're in contact with in a normal way, you know, thinking it's in a normal way. You know, a true crime group. How many true crime groups are there? True crime is you know, so popular, isn't it? So there's be loads of people out there in true crime groups, one way or another, or in several. And then finding out that one of your number is actually a murderer. I mean, it's like something off a film, isn't it? You know, it's crazy. As always, truth is stranger than fiction. You know, you would never really think that someone in your group was an actual murderer, would you? No, just never know, do you? Who you're talking to. And this is why I always say, you know, caution on the internet. Careful what you're saying, careful what you're letting slip about yourself. Don't relax too much. You know, even in our lovely little community, it is a nice community. But, you know, you've got to be very careful what you give away, because you don't even know who's watching. You know, there's 16 people watching this at the moment, and there's only 3, maybe 4 people actually in the chat. So the other 12 people, you know, no disrespect, they're probably lovely lurkers, but there might be loathsome lurkers. They might be stalkers. There might be murderers. Could be a serial killer. Just don't know who is actually watching. So you have got to be aware of that. And that's only on my little channel. So, you know, if you're on bigger channels with more people on there, You know, you've just got to be careful. That's why we've got the Discord. The Discord is more private. Join the Discord server because you can chat more private. And the thing is there, I do know exactly who's in there. You can't go into the Discord and be anonymous, you know, so I know who's in there, and you still got to be careful on there because even if someone's handle is showing, you don't know who they are really. You know, there's some people I know exactly who they are because of emails that I get and things like that. But there's lots of people I don't know exactly who they are. They don't have a profile picture up. You can't trace them or whatever. So you've always just got to be mindful. But so for more privacy, go to the Discord to chat. And when you're in the public chat like this, you must always be careful of what you're saying about yourself. Which is what I always remind you, isn't it? So, yeah, it could be an Erin Patterson out there as we speak, watching this, someone exactly like her, you know, who's just about to murder their family by poisoning. We just don't know, do we? So let me give you the little bit of waffle that I wanted to tell you about. The saga. This is, so why does everything in my life always turn into a saga? So I think I mentioned last week my shower broke. Probably from overuse over the summer because I've had about 2 million showers in this horrible hot weather, which, by the way, it's only 26 degrees. Oh, God, it was so lovely this morning. It was cool. It was fresh. I was out at the crack of dawn. I walked the dogs and then I went off to get, right, so let me tell you what happened. So the shower sort of disintegrated. I thought it just needed a new shower cable. So I ordered a new shower cable, went to fit. I thought it was just a matter of taking off the old one, putting on the new one. Oh, no. Nothing's as simple as that in my house. So I take off, so unscrew the other one. But it's like the actual sort of shower table thing. It won't come off the attachment that goes in the tap. It's got like a special tap for the shower. There's an attachment that screws into that, and then the shower cable thing, shower hose or whatever attaches to that. But the shower hose wouldn't come off that attachment. So probably because it's, you know, to be fair, been there since I bought the house, which was over 20 years ago. That's the problem with my house at the moment. It's really quite old. There's lots of little things going wrong. Anyway, so it just wouldn't budge. I couldn't budge it. I tried it with you know, all sorts of things. Anyway, then when number one's son, I got him to try it because he's strong, you know, he couldn't move it. And he said, oh, it looks like it's just got sort of ossified, you know, over the years, it won't undo. So I thought, right, I need a new one of those attachments, the attachment that goes into the tap. So yesterday I went off to the local ferreteria. The ferreteria is the hardware shop. We call it the ferret sometimes, but ferreteria. No, we haven't got any of those. So this is when what starts. I call the runaround in Spain. It's for everything that you try and buy. It's a runaround for it. Nothing is simple. So the runaround starts. So I said, have you any idea where I might be able to buy that? In San Miguel? No. Maybe at such and such a place. Okay, right. I thought, I'm not even bothering going there because I know it won't be there. That'll be another step on the runaround. So I thought, no, I'm going to a big DIY shop that's got a plumbing department, and I'm going to get one there. So that's where I went this morning after I'd walked the dogs. So I go there, ask the guy, goes, no, when you get that, like, you know, tilt and shake of the head. No, you can't get that. We can't. That's part of the tap. That's part of the tap. That will have come with the tap. You can't buy one on its own. You need a whole new tap. So I need a whole new tap for the shower now. Not just the shower cable that I thought I would need. Shower hose or whatever, new shower hose and head. No, I need a whole new tap, you know, and it's a big, you know, the shower tap. It's not like a tap that you can just buy. I mean, I wouldn't be able to buy it because I wouldn't know how to fit it. So there you go. So that's where I am at the moment. Now, I have been Googling how to, release limescale, these things that get really stuck with limescale. And currently it is immersed in vinegar and bicarbonate of soda in the hope that it will undo, and then because if it would undo, I've only got to just screw in the other one. So that's what, hoping and praying that it will, this suggestion that was on Google of vinegar and bicarbonate of soda, and it really fizzed up when I put it in there. So I'm hoping it will dissolve the limescale enough to release it. There's some other suggestions that I can try. If not, I'm going to have to really practically have a whole new shower. So what was supposed to be just an easy job of just buying a new shower hose and taking the old one off and putting that one on. Oh no, not in my house. Nothing's ever that simple, is it? Anyway, so that was my morning so far, but I will let you know. I will let you know if it works. Hi, Bluebell. No. Oh, it all happens to me in the UK now. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Well, I've got a few different ideas if this doesn't work. I might at some point in the live. No, I haven't got video to show because otherwise when the video is playing I might have gone and tried it, but I will let you know. So it's like prayers. Please pray for me. Pray that this thing unscrews, please. Just makes it all a lot easier. Okay, now then, where am I going? So yeah, what do we think of this? Let's have a look at the article. I'm not sure, because I just think let's just look. First of all, these are the actual messages. Let's just remind ourselves when it came to the trial, the messages that came up. So let's have a look. So these messages were sent to a group including Danielle Barley, I think it's Barclay, Jenny Hay, Bronwyn Rapp and Joy Cause. And Erin had this profile, Erin. And she vents about her husband's family on December the 5th, 2022. So remember, this is Erin who in court said, I love them. I would never hurt them. But the actual messages she sent told a different story, didn't they? So she said, Simon's dad contacted me this morning to say that he and Gail had tried to talk to someone about the matters I raised to get his side, but he refused to talk about it other than to signal that he disagreed with what I said, the message read. Beyond that, he won't talk about it. So Don said, and Don was one of her victims, remember, said they can't adjudicate if they don't know both sides, and Simon won't give his side. Now, the emoji that she put in there, I think it was an eye roll, wasn't it? They said in court. So he said all he can ask is that Simon and I get together to pray for the children. Eye roll. This family, I swear to fucking God. So this is what Erin said. So despite her saying how much she loved them and how supportive they'd been and how they were fantastic, what she was actually saying, and don't forget this, these are only Facebook friends she's talking to. These are people she's never even met. And this is what she's saying about this family. So she obviously didn't think they were brilliant and loved them and what have you. And she really sort of sneered at Don for saying you should get together to pray for the children, because that is Don's response. That was the person he was. Prayer was the answer to things. She's rolling her eyes because she doesn't believe in God, even though she was trying to say that, oh, yes, she did believe in God. She's a committed Christian. Well, she's not. She doesn't believe in God. She doesn't believe in prayer. She just wants them to agree with her. So she's not interested in them advocating or mediating. She just wants them to agree with her, doesn't she? And then another message the following day said, I said to him about 50 times yesterday, I didn't want them to adjudicate, emoji, rolling eyes. Nobody bloody listens to me. At least I know they're a lost cause. A lost cause? So she thought, what, they're a lost cause, so she's going to murder them instead. And then she continues, I wonder if they've got any capacity for self-reflection at all. Oh my God. It's breathtaking, isn't it? I wonder if she's got any capacity for self-reflection. I wonder, Erin, what do you think now that these people are dead? Are you self-reflecting? Look, this is where she really looks like a mushroom, doesn't she, on this picture? She's complete shape of a mushroom or a toadstool. So, I mean, clearly the fact that Simon refuses to talk about personal issues in part stems from the behaviour of his parents and how they operate. According to them, they have never asked him what's going on with us, why I keep kicking him out, or why his son hates him, etc. He's too awkward or uncomfortable or something. So that's learned behaviour. Just don't talk about this shit. Now, this is it. This is why she hated his parents so much, isn't it? It explains so much about the hate that she felt, because we couldn't understand why she would do that to his parents, but she blamed them for everything. She blames them for the fact that he was the way he was, didn't he? Hi, Bluebell. I can't remember if I said hello to you, but hi anyway. So I'm sick of all this SHIT. I want nothing to do with them. I thought his parents would want to do the right thing, but it seems they're concerned about not wanting to feel uncomfortable and not wanting to get involved in their son's personal matters or overriding that. So FUCKM. So that's I just wanted to remind ourselves of the messages. And despite Erin saying how much she loved this family and how much they'd helped them, in fact, we see from her messages, she hated them. She blamed them for the way Simon was, So, and of course, these messages were read out in court, and that will have helped to convict her, I'm sure, because she's saying one thing. And the messages, and it's not just one message. Look, we all get fed up with people, and there's things that we say sometimes in the heat of a moment, isn't it? But I don't think I would go on a Facebook group with people that I didn't even know for a start. That's the sort of thing you might confide in your best friend or someone you were close to. Look, they're really getting on my nerves, or blah, 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 blah. But to go on a Facebook group with people that you've never even met in person and say these kind of things, and yet she never mentioned to him that she liked foraging for mushrooms. She didn't tell him everything, but this hobby that she suddenly decided she had of foraging for mushrooms, she didn't tell him about that, did she? But she's a liar. She's such a liar. Anyway, so let's have a look now at this book. So this book is Bloody Good Friends, it's called. I don't know. It just seems to me, can't decide. Is it a bit sort of iffy what she's doing, or why shouldn't she do it? My main thing is the title. Look, if you look at that, Bloody Good Friends, and all this blood dripping down and that. There was no blood in this murder, in these murders. It was poisoning. So I understand the phrase, we were bloody good friends. I don't think they were bloody good friends, but they're trying to use it as a sort of, what's that word, a synonym, is it? Or anyway, there's a word for it. Of it, representing the murders, but it doesn't represent the murders because the murders weren't bloody at all. So it makes no sense. It just makes it look horrific. It's like clickbait, isn't it? So Erin Patterson's true crime Facebook friend Daniela Barclay to release a book on the mushroom murder saga. Daniela, who was in a crime enthusiast Facebook group with the mass murderer, testified at the mother of two's trial. Now, I suppose if we found out that one of our chatterati had, murdered someone, maybe we would write a book about it. I don't know, would we? I would certainly do a video about it. But, that's what I do. Do you know what I mean? I do that. I make videos about true crime, not just suddenly becoming a true crime person. But she's, this woman, apart from being on a Facebook true crime group, and she's not a writer, is she? I just can't decide, because you have to think of the children as well. Though I think the children have had a lucky escape. I've said that a few times. I'm sorry if they're ever watching this video. I don't mean to be horrible towards your mum, but your mum is horrible, so that you're better off without her. So a former online friend of Erin Patterson has released promotional material for her upcoming novel. So it's coming out soon. How's she written it so quick? You can't write a book that quick. It's not even been 6 months since her trial. It's not even been 2 months. So how's she written a book that quick? And what's she going to put in it, apart from those messages? Well, we've all read them online anyway. What else does she know about Erin? Absolutely nothing, because she's never met her. She doesn't know Simon. She doesn't know anything about the family except what Erin put in those messages. So between 2019 and 13, it's a strange way around to put it, isn't it? Daniela Barclay and Patterson were in the same true crime enthusiast Facebook group, where members discussed everything from their family lives, news and current events and politics. Barclay would go on to be one of the 3 women from the group who testified for the prosecution at the 50-year-old's trial earlier this year. Now, yeah, it's poor taste, isn't it? Is it poor taste? That's what I think. My personal opinion is I don't like the title for a start. I think maybe if the title was different, but she's picked the title to be gory and to be, it's not nice, is it? To look as if, first of all, they weren't bloody good friends because they were only Facebook friends, and 2, there was no blood involved in this crime anyway, so it just doesn't work at all, does it? I think, but so anyway, this is what she's doing. So let's read some more details. So for the first-time author, and that's it. She is a first-time author. She's never written a book before. Now, if someone was, I know that Anne Rule, I don't know if you know who Anne Rule is. She's a famous author. She wrote a book about Ted Bundy, but she was an author, and she worked next to him at a rape crisis centre. She knew him in person, worked next to him at a rape crisis centre where he volunteered. And she was an authoress anyway, and so she wrote the book The Stranger Beside Me. But she was already, this woman is not an author, is she? I don't know, it just feels weird anyway. So it delves into the mushroom murders from the perspective of Patterson's online community. The other thing she's done, you tell me what you think of this. She's changed the names in the book. So instead of her being Daniela, she's Bella. What's that about? Why she changed the names? So it's like, is it a fiction book or is it a true storybook? Because if it's true, or is she worried about being sued? But, is that the reason? So she's changed her name from Daniela to Bella, and she's changed Erin's name to Eden. Oh, let me know what you think of that. Please let me know what you think of that in chat. I was like, because when I first started reading that, I thought, oh, they've got the names wrong in the paper. I thought it was like the article that had got the names wrong. Why use false names? It sounds like some Barbara Cartland novel, doesn't it? It's like, Bella and Eden, you know, that makes it even worse, isn't it? Because if she's telling her story from the slant of, because it must have been disturbing, of course. It would be disturbing, isn't it? Someone that you felt you were friends with, even if it was only Facebook friend, finding out that they were a triple murderer and had tried to kill at least one other person, if not two. Why would you change the name? So she's just, in other words, she's just going to make it all up. So yeah, like you say, David, maybe a bit of poetic license. No, but then we won't know what's true and what's poetic license. Hi, Joanne. Just sounds like, to be honest, to me, if I'm being perfectly honest, I think it's going to be a load of crap. I do. I could write a better book. In fact, I think I might. I know that much about Erin Patterson and this trial. I've covered it so closely. I think I could write a book and make a better job, to be honest. At least I've written a book before. That's interesting, Marie. So Eden is the town where Erin was left a property. Yeah. I mean, I just think it's going to be rubbish. She's going to sell it on the name of the mushroom murders, which, of course, everybody's interested in because they're so sort of bizarre. And, at the end of the day, 3 people died. 3 people died, and 1 person was left bereft and seriously ill. And to then sort of write this sort of pseudo fiction book about let's be honest, there was a few messages that she had between her and Erin. How are you going to make a book out of it? And the more now, I'm glad I've come on to talk about this because I couldn't decide at first. But now the more I'm reading into it and the more I'm thinking about it, because as I'm talking, it's clocking over. It's horrible, isn't it? Actually horrible. So the First Time author has released a snippet of her upcoming self-published book. Oh, it's self-published as well. Okay. Bloody good friends. Yeah, a publisher wouldn't touch it, would they? That'd be why. Because to be honest, if she had a real story to sell, she wouldn't have to self-publish it. Do you know what I mean? If she had like a story that you would think, I self-published my book because it's my book about my life. And, I don't know if anyone's good. I'm not a famous person. So, it's not like, if somebody famous does an autobiography, normally a publisher will take it on because they know it's going to sell because that person is already famous. But, if you're not famous and you want to write an autobiography, you have to publish it yourself because, no sort of famous publisher is going to say, oh, yeah, let's have Vicky Marie's story because they don't, there's not public interest in it. So I wrote the book for me and then people have bought it, but, not millions. Like, I'd say hundreds have bought it. I don't know about thousands. I don't know. I need to look one day and see how many people have bought it. But the only people that have bought it are people that know me, either students or people from the YouTube channels, etc. It's not something that people are going to be leafing down the books in Amazon and think, oh, let's have a read of this, because they don't know me. Do you understand? So she's had to self-publish it because because you'd think publishers would be interested in this story of Erin Patterson, but maybe it's because it's tacky, or maybe it's because I don't see how you can do it as fiction because that's an insult to the victims, isn't it? It's not fiction. It really happened. They're dead. Their families have lost them. And you're going to represent it as fiction with characters called Bella and Eden, like some tacky Barbara Cartland novel. It's really horrible, isn't it? So this is what she says about it. Sorry, it's just ridiculous, isn't it? I should have a button for ridiculous. Bella and Eden have never met in person, but are the best of friends. They have been chatting to each other almost every day for years. The blurb begins. So that it don't matter, they've been chatting online, they've never met, they don't know each other, and they're not the best of friends. So it's a load of crap already. Along with 3 other women that they met in an online true crime group, they shared jokes, personal stories, pandemic updates, and recipes. Oh, God. Ooh, oh, my God. Oh, dear me. This is Joanne. The person that's writing it is one of these Facebook friends that were in the Facebook group with her, with Erin. They were in the Facebook group with Erin, and they gave evidence at Erin's trial. Daniela Barclay, she's called. The more I think about it, this is her. Daniela Barclay. So it seems to be like a pseudo, don't know what it is. Is it fiction? Is it? So it's supposed to be talking about the Erin's messages, but giving her a different name. So sometimes Eden, in other words, Erin, goes missing for days or weeks. When she returns to their private group chat, she always has a tale to tell. But when she leaves the conversation for the final time, the 4 women are left scratching their heads in confusion. So don't forget, this is the Facebook group that called Erin a super sleuth as well. That is until late one night they see images of Eden's house splashed across the news, along with a story about death cap mushrooms being served for a lunch gathering. With 3 people dead and another fighting for life, Eden is named as the mushroom cook and prime suspect. It's disgusting, really, isn't it? And this is the cover of the book. Sometimes the truth really is stranger than fiction. Well, we know that. Bloody good friends. And as I say, that looks as if someone's been stabbed, someone's been shot. There was no blood. There's no blood in this case. It's poison. So it's ridiculous. And this, Daniela Barclay, that's her name, apparently these flowers were left by some supporter of Erin at the house. I don't know if they were for the victims or for Erin. So it says the book in which Patterson is given the fictionalized name Eden is still being written. Credit Barclay Books. So she's got her own publishing. You know, that's what you do when you self-publish. You create your own little publishing thing just for your books. So the plot goes on to explore how the small, tight-knit true crime discussion group are faced with online trolls, confusion, and questionable accounts about what really happened on the day of the lunch. Oh my God. Oh my God, so they're going to try and make it out like it was traumatic to them or whatever. I mean, it must have been a little bit traumatic, but come on, let's concentrate on the victims and the victims' families. They were the ones that had the trauma. This woman is just cashing in. So Daniela, if you're watching this is horrible what you're doing. Horrible. With their group now down by 1 member, cracks start to form and suspicions about truth and loyalty begin to rise. The blurb continues. Have you ever heard such a load of old rubbish? Bella wonders if their online friendship has run its course and whether does it really matter? Who cares? Who cares if you're Facebook only online friendship runs its course? Who cares? Who gives a shit? And whether the event will be the one thing that finally tears them apart. Woo! On a website dedicated to the book, Barclay said the fictional account was based on real-life events, including family secrets, wacky true crime groups, friends and foes, plus a bizarre murder case that has gripped the entire world and landed a group of true crime fans in the middle of their own mysterious battle for the truth. Oh, sorry, what a load of old crap. What a load of... So she's trying to make it sound good, but it's not. It's rubbish, just reading that. I'm glad I've gone through this because I wouldn't buy it in a million years. There's going to be nothing in there that didn't come out at the trial, number one. And the only thing she knows about, perhaps more than others that came out about the trial, are the Facebook messages. Apart from that, she knows nothing else any more than anybody else. I know more than her because I've probably followed this case more closely than her. With you guys out there, you probably know more than her. The only thing she knows about are the messages because she was involved in them. I think we'd all like to see those messages. You know, I'm not going to tell a lie. I would love to see those messages just for my own interest. But what she's saying, that what does that mean? Based on real life events, including family secrets, wacky true crime groups, friends and foes, plus a bizarre murder case that has gripped the entire world and landed a group of true crime fans in the middle of their own mysterious battle for the truth. I'll tell you what, if I was the family of the victims or Simon, or I would be suing her for that or trying to stop that book because it's horrible. Am I imagining it? Anybody think it's a good thing? Clickbait 101. Does anybody not think it's tacky? Yeah. Where's the mushroom on the cover? You don't even have mushrooms on it. Do you know what I mean? So she's using the mushroom case and she's using blood as if it was a stabbing or something. I'm just looking to see. Hey, Daniel. Just looking to see if anybody thinks it's a good idea. It's not, is it? It's not just me, is it? I'm not imagining it. I sort of first one of you that are in the chat that had, I mean, I'd seen it online, and then someone sent me an email about it, and I said to them, "Oh, I can't make my mind up." But I hadn't looked into it properly because I hadn't had time. I'd just seen the headlines, you know, because I always follow the Australian news always. So I'd seen the headlines that this book was coming out, but I hadn't had a chance to have a look what it was. I mean, to me, it'd be more decent to, you know, to say, oh, you know, how I felt when I realised I'd been part of a group, a Facebook group with the mushroom murder. You know, the truth, like, not turning it into some sort of lurid, trashy Barbara Cartland novel. You know, it's like, you feel like, what are they going to... You know, Bella and Eden, you know, you feel like there's going to be an sex scene in there somewhere, don't you? It's like, you know, it'd be one of those Barbara Cartland moments. You know, I used to read Barbara Cartland years ago. I mean, years ago. Don't know if you've ever read one, but, you know, they're easy reading. I used to read them probably when I was a teenager. You know, there was always a scene, wasn't there, where, you know, you never really had it. There was never any sex in Barbara Cartland novels, not the, you know, graphic. It was always just like, oh yes, and the sun went down and the curtains waved in the breeze and they got to know each other properly, like that kind of thing. But yeah, there'd be no. I quite liked it when there was. I don't really want all the gory details, you know. If I want the gory details, then I watch porn or something. If I just trying to read a novel about romance or whatever, it's like I quite like, you know, like in the old films, you know, where the camera used to pan away when they were getting down. Like, you know, now you see every gory detail. I don't want to see it. Thank you. No, thank you. Don't want to see the gory details. I've got an imagination and I can make it nicer in my mind than they normally make it on the screen, because it's normally pretty, you know, not very nice. So yes, I can't say I'm not going to be rushing out and buying it, put it that way. So don't forget, this small, tight-knit true crime discussion group were faced with online trolls, confusion and questionable accounts of what really happened. And then cracks started to form, suspicions about truth and loyalty began to rise. What loyalty will you have to somebody that you only know from a Facebook crime group? You know, loyalty, you don't even know them as a real person. Do you know what they're talking about? So on a website, now this is interesting because on a website dedicated to the book, Barclay said the fictional account was based on real life events, including family secrets, wacky true crime groups, friends and foes, and this bizarre murder case. But this website has now been taken down and can't be reached. Do you think she's had some kickback from it? So she's yet to announce the novel's release date. However, her company, Barclay Books, will be registered for GST from November, which signals when she may anticipate to start sales. I wouldn't be surprised if Erin doesn't sue her, to be honest, because Erin's got the money to sue her. If so, it will be a quick promotional tour for the novel, whose publisher was only registered with ASIC last month. But the Melbourne mother appears to be steaming ahead with her project, recently updating customers of her fake flowers business. Oh, she's got a fake flowers business. Well, that reminds me, I bought a real flower this morning. I bought a plant. So not all my plants, well, all my plants have died. I'm useless with plants. Anyway, and of course, it's been so hot over the summer, I thought I'm not buying any more plants. They'll all die anyway. I've got one surviving plant and I've got 3 surviving cactuses. I can't even keep cactuses alive. Anyway, when I was out shopping this morning, I bought a plant because it's some lovely red flowers, and I thought, oh, let's have a bit of colour, so I'm going to plant that in a bit. Sorry, that just distracted me. Oh, because she was saying she's got a fake flowers business, and you know, fake flowers are easier to keep, aren't they? In Spain, it's virtually impossible to keep plants and flowers alive, well, you have to water them so much. I forget, or then I overwater them, or you know, it's hard work. It really is. It's constantly got to be attending to them. It's like more tying than a dog or a child, because you just constantly got to keep. And I forget, so that's why they always end up dying, especially through the summer, because the summer's so brutal, the sun. Anyway, we'll see how this plant goes on. Now we're coming into the autumn. Yay! Maybe I'll be able to keep some plants alive till next summer. So she seems to be streaming ahead with her projects, updating customers of her fake flowers business. She's taken a hiatus to redirect her energy into her literary pursuit. Hi all, I'm taking a short break to focus on a novel that I am writing, she wrote on her Etsy page 2 days ago. All remaining orders will be fulfilled. See you in a few weeks. So this is her, you know, the promotional blurb about the book. What do you think? So the front cover of the novel mirrors the scene outside Patterson's home in the days after the poisonings, when a single box of flowers were left on the mother of two's fence by her supporters. At that time, she was being questioned by detectives about the lunch, but she'd not been charged. She was arrested in November 2023 and found guilty by a jury of 3 counts of murder, 1 count of attempted murder in July. Now, don't forget, she's yet to be sentenced. She'll be sentenced this month. Taking the stand at trial, Barclay told the court she met Patterson in a true crime group in 2019, and before that initial group was dissolved, and then it was before that initial group was dissolved and reformed with a smaller number of members. She was quite active at the beginning, perhaps in the first couple of years, but in the last year or so, she has barely posted in there. She said she appeared to be a devoted mother and she confided with group members about her marital issues. And she had shared with the group also that she loved mushrooms. She'd asked for advice cooking beef Wellington, and she posted photos of her dehydrating fungi in the months before the lunch. Don and Gail Patterson, both 70, and Gail's sister Heather, 66, died days after eating a beef Wellington laced with deadly mushrooms in July 2023. Heather's husband Ian spent months critically ill in hospital but survived. And Patterson is being housed at Dame Phyllis Frost Correctional Centre and Maximum Security Women's Prison in Melbourne. And she will be sentenced on September the 8th. Which is Friday. This Friday? What day is it today? Oh, I've still got August up. I need to change my calendar over. So September the 8th. That's when she'll be sentenced, and we're hoping for life without parole. Hi, Sugar Cats. No, yeah, Riley's crying because he knows it's his swap over time. Go on then. Go on. So, what do you think? Let me know what you think. Personally, I think it's a bit tacky, don't you think? I don't know. But anyway, I don't know what the family make of it that counts, isn't it, at the end of the day? It's offensive to the family, surely. Okay, so I'm off. I'll see you. Let me know what you think in comments. Most important, let me know what you think in comments. Personally, I think it's really tacky. So, why would you? It's the fiction. Right, there's a few things that I find tacky about it. The fact that it's been represented as fiction, that's insulting to me. 3 people died. The fact that there's blood all over the cover, and this is not, it's that clickbait, like you say, clickbait 101. There was no blood in this case. It was a poisoning. So why are you representing it as if it was a stabbing or shooting or something? And yeah, but thumbs down to the book. Yeah, thumbs down to the book. So, okay, I'm going. Thank you. Thank you for watching. I'll see. Don't forget to, let me put the like and subscribe up. Please don't forget to like or subscribe, or both, I should say. Can't find it, so maybe I won't put it up. You never find anything quickly. You think I'd be used to where everything is by now. Well, there you go. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll be back really soon in the next video. And until then, may your God go with you. Thank you.